2 months after Hurricane Helene destroyed some 200,000 homes and killed more than 100 people in North Carolina, many homeowners and businesses still haven't received any aid from the federal government. The U.S. Small Business Administration's Disaster Loan Fund ran out of money last month. It's up to Congress to pass a bill to replenish it, but lawmakers are in a stalemate. On Wednesday, senators from 3 states affected by Hurricane Helene sent a letter to Senate leadership urging them to vote on a new supplemental appropriations bill in the first week of December. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now for more on this. Scott, what's keeping Congress from appropriating additional funds?
Well, they're standing in this political quicksand, and every time they try to take a step, Lindsay, they just seem to fall deeper into it. There's been this 2-month standoff over replenishing the Small Business Administration Disaster Loan Fund, which may sound bureaucratic or sound obscure, but it's anything but. This is the fund homeowners and small businesses get access to for emergency loans to literally rebuild after disasters. Despite the warnings from the Biden administration to Congress that the fund was running low in September, Congress let it completely get expired. It let it go completely down to zero and has yet to come up with a plan for a vote to replenish it. There's bipartisan consensus. It needs to be replenished, but there's just a lack of urgency. They came back after the election, didn't get to it. Now the North Carolina senators, the Georgia senators, the Virginia senators from different parties say, let's do this as soon as we get back after Thanksgiving.
How bad is the backlog?
Our CBS News reporting is that there are 60,000 pending applications, not one or two, 60,000. And that number is going to grow as the days go on, as people continue to submit their applications, but the feds can't act on the applications. They can't even literally approve them because there's no money. And when there's no money, you can't say yes. There's a sense Congress is going to get to making sure there's enough money for everybody in the backlog to get made whole. But a small business owner would tell you that the margins are already near zero, if not zero. And just waiting these months really puts people at risk of going out of business, just waiting for Washington to get its act together.
How long could this play out?
There's a firm deadline. That's the good news. The firm deadline is December 20th for Washington to fund itself, to approve its own funding to keep the lights on and the doors open in the federal government. Seems like a pretty firm deadline to get this done, too. But December 20th is not tomorrow. It's not this weekend. It's about a month away. And that, again, adds to the complications, Lindsay, for small businesses and homeowners waiting for action.
Scott MacFarlane, thank you for your reporting. Jessie Dean joins us now. She's the founder and CEO of Asheville Tea Company, which saw its warehouse completely wiped out after Helene. Jessie, first of all, thank you so much for being with us. Can you help explain how your business is? I mean, I know I mentioned the warehouse, but just explain the magnitude of the impact by Helene.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Yes, we're Asheville Tea Company. We are a small business here in Asheville that creates craft teas with local and regional ingredients from local farmers. And we had a facility that was right on the Swananoa River. And even though the building had been lifted out of the flood zone, the river rose over 27 feet and completely washed our building away entirely. So that was, all of our tea, all of our offices, all of our equipment, everything. So it's been a pretty devastating situation. And, we are certainly not the only ones. There are thousands of businesses throughout Asheville and Western North Carolina that have experienced pretty catastrophic physical damage, and also not only catastrophic physical damage, but also lost revenue and economic damage, just because our community relies so heavily on tourism and hospitality. And so folks are not here right now in the amounts that they usually would be. So we're struggling. We're trying to rebuild. We are definitely trying to rebuild, and we're struggling to make that happen financially.
How have the efforts to recover gone so far? And you mentioned a financial struggle. Have you applied for this disaster loan relief? Would those funds help speed up the process for you?
Yes. I mean, Explore Asheville has estimated almost $585 million in lost revenue just in this fall and holiday kind of fourth quarter season alone. And the ripple effects of that loss are huge. These are funds that pay for local jobs, cover livelihoods here in Asheville, support small businesses, and pay sales tax and property taxes that support local and statewide governments. And so the ripple effects of that economic loss is huge. I have applied for disaster loan relief, and I haven't heard back. And so, we need Congress to act urgently on that.
Have you
Asheville
heard
and West
anything from officials?
need funding. No, I haven't. And so, yeah, we need some urgent response. We need grant funding. We need affordable loan funding as quickly as possible.
We know small businesses, they have to be creative. They have to use ingenuity. It's always sort of a struggle to survive, right? But in the meantime, to bounce back, what can people do right now to help you? We know Small Business Saturday is coming up.
Thank you. Small Business Saturday is coming up. And so, despite the devastation, on the bright side, we love this vibrant community and we are rebuilding. And so if folks out there are inclined to help us, we would love that. You can donate directly to a grant fund called the Always Asheville Fund. It's alwaysashevillefund.com. And that would be a wonderful thing to do on Small Business Saturday to help a multitude of small businesses throughout this area to get back on our feet.
And Jessie, also correct me if I'm wrong, you guys are also accepting pre-orders, right? I mean, I don't know if all of your tea in that warehouse is gone, but you are starting to take orders, right?
That's right. We are rebuilding and we are making new tea. We did lose our previous tea, but we're making new tea and we're taking pre-orders on AshevilleTeaCompany.com.
Well, Jessie, we wish you and your business a lot of luck in this time, and please come back and tell us how you're doing.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to talk to you.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.